Kerry, my God, this album, this is exactly what I want to hear when something from hell is on the rise.
That's exactly what I wanted to hear when people told me what they wanted to hear.
I mean, my God. I mean, just listening to it, my heart rate is just going through the roof. I mean, you really bring home the real rock on this.
Yeah, that's exactly what I wanted to hear from people. That's the way I feel about it. You know, of course, I'm pretty close to it, but it's everything I wanted it to be. Super happy.
I love the way that you marketed the Idle Hands with the video, because what it does is it really, not only did it sell the new album coming out and the release date, but man, this is like graphic arts coming to life.
Yeah, it came out cool. I was told that's called a visualizer. And then the second single came out, and that one actually had the video of all the fire, digital fire and real fire in it. So it was a nice progression. And they did well. People seem to dig it a lot.
Yeah, I would like to grab my VR goggles and watch that video just so I can experience those flames and the movement with that music just going ba 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 ba.
Yeah, people who put those together are very talented at what they do.
Now, you and Paul, you guys have been working on this since 2018. Is that correct?
Not really. I mean, some of the songs have been around before that. I mean, one of these songs has been looking to get reworked for like 20 years. Actually, that was Residue. But, you know, I keep good ideas, and if it's not time to put them out, you know, maybe it doesn't have all the right parts, I just sit on it until the right parts come out. But Paul and I started working on it probably together in 2021, but me, myself, yeah, definitely. You know, I've been working on it for a long time.
Man, I'll tell you what, you brought up Residue. I love the dramatic soul that you have put into each and every one of those instruments. And in this age of so much compression, I can feel every instrument move through me.
Oh, yeah. Josh Wilbur did a really cool job at production. We worked real well together. He and I and Mark, the singer, worked extremely hard on creating a new level for Mark, because personally, I didn't want Mark to sound like Death Angel. I wanted to sound like he's going to sound like for the rest of his career. So, you know, I worked on him for months and months and months and months, be it enunciation, be it cadence, anything. But to get back to the sound, yeah, Josh, when he mastered and mixed it, just, I think, got the closest to my live guitar sound than I've ever had on a record. So I'm real happy with it.
Yeah. Speaking of Mark on those lead vocals, I wish you could see my notes here, because it says right here, he is the new face of great rock.
Yeah, man, he is just, he's my ace in the hole for sure. He's crushing, and, you know, we've done 2 shows and he's just ripping faces off. So we got another show day after tomorrow. I'm looking forward to doing that again one more time before we head off to Europe.
Well, you going to go over there and do some festivals?
Festivals, headlines are there for like 5 weeks, and then we're back here on the Lamb of God Macedon tour from mid-July to the beginning of September.
When it comes together, does it start out on the acoustic guitar, or do you go in that room and go, now we're going to kick some serious ass today, and it's going to start right now on this guitar?
It may start out acoustically on an electric.
Yeah.
But if it's cool and I don't have an amp next to me or whatever, I'll record that electric acoustic in quotations onto my phone, and then the next day or two I'll go do it on an amp with you know, significant distortion, and, you know, see where things lie.
What would we learn as fans of music if we could hear those scratch tracks, those original things?
They're not much different. Like the little amp I play out of is about as big as my boot, and I record on my phone. And I think what you would say is, man, that sounds pretty good. It's just me on this stupid little amp. And that's what I end up sending to Paul for him to learn drums, and to everybody else. Once we get demos with me and Paul playing together in the studio, then they got, you know, guitar, drums, and starts becoming a song.
In a really weird way, the music industry is going to take a hit here in the next few weeks when Sam Ash closes their doors. I think the future of rock, those kids that would go in there and practice and practice and practice on those instruments, it's like, where are they going to go now?
Yeah, it's a bummer, you know, but if there's that need, something will come up and fill that void, because there's got to be a place where people can put their hands on guitars, you know, and check them out and see if that's what they want to try to spend the next couple of years learning, or, whatever goes on from there. But there needs to be a place where people can go and have hands-on stuff.
Yeah. I need to get my hands on that album. And the reason why is because that inside sleeve, I bet it's going to have the song lyrics on it, because you talk about some seriously up-to-date stuff inside those songs.
Yeah. One thing the pandemic did for me was make me a lot more aware of topical day-to-day stuff, which I would generalize way more in the past. But this one, during the pandemic, you'd binge watch whatever the hell show you're trying to catch up on. But every morning you're watching the news to see what kind of craziness has gone on since the night prior.
So do you find yourself when you're out there on that stage, to go from the studio with idle hands or even Residue, and then to put it in that live audience atmosphere, how does the song evolve into that crowd?
It's cool. I've made up our set list for basically since the beginning of time. So I think I'm pretty good at it. But what I did with those two songs, I put them about mid-set after a Slayer song or two, and then you put in another new song if people don't know.
Yeah.
And then I'd play those two so they could get their own pop, because people will know them, because fans of the music definitely know that shit the day after it comes out.
Yep.
So reaction's really cool.
Well, what is your reaction when you go into a new song? Because, the fans will sit there and sit down. I would stop the music and say, stand the hell back up. You're going to stand up for this one, too.
Yeah, I think the music lends itself to be stood to. In number one, there's no chairs. There's no chairs in a festival, at least not in the front. So, people don't have much choice. But the music that I come up with I think is so familiar to my fans, my ex-band's fans, that when the first song hits, they're going to mosh regardless of what it sounds like. And then, they're going to take a breath and see what it's about. Then they're going to hear songs they know and thrash about a little more. And then they'll hear new ones and, vibe out and see what the band's about. So we get both sides.
Wow. Where can fans go to find out more about you, Kerry, and this new project, and more importantly, to buy authentic merchandise from you?
Kerry King Official, I would imagine. I was just there the other day, and I saw all the different colors of vinyl the record company's putting out. I think there's 6. Most of them are exclusive to one place or other. There's the black vinyl. There's the CD. There's actually cassettes, which look pretty cool, ironically. And all the dates are on there, too.
I love it. Please come back to the show anytime in the future. The door is always going to be open for you, Kerry.
Hey, man, I'm around. You just get me on, and I'll blab at you.
I love it, man. You be brilliant, all right?
I will. I don't know how to do anything else.
Thank you.